Um, do you like to be called Anna or Brianna?
I'm Anna.
Oh, okay, great. Anna, you're the only one here so far. I
Okay,
don't, I don't believe in waiting around because we haven't got a minute to lose. So could I ask you a couple questions?
for sure.
Are you studying for the state test or the school test or both?
I'm studying for both.
Okay. And do you know which one you're planning to take first?
Um, the school, sorry, this is in regards to the 77-hour test. So I'm planning to take the school RELNY's first, then the state.
Okay. Uh, I think you will find that the two tests are very similar,
Mhm.
and we designed it that way on purpose. Because what schools try to do is we take the attitude of, well, our bosses, our Department of State, and if they design the test in a certain way, that must be what they want. So we try to follow their lead and make our test as similar to theirs as we can. All right, my other question for you is what particular areas would you like to study? Like, were there any questions that you had or any particular subjects that you found more challenging?
So I've been I emailed Debbie last week because on the quiz I got, they're asking how many total hours does a broker have to take? And me thinking and like reading back at the notes, I put the 45-hour, but it was saying I was wrong and it's 75. No, sorry, they said the total hours. I put 45, but they said no, it's 152 hours
That's
in total.
dumb. That's so dumb the way they do that. Like,
And
instead of
so
saying the salesperson course is this and the broker course is that, they add them together because the broker has to take both courses.
yeah, and so Debbie said that they're gonna modify Ronnie is gonna modify that. But I was so confused and I was asking like every real estate agent, like, I don't know like what numbers are they adding together? I can't figure it out. So yeah.
Well, we didn't design that question. Department of State designed that question. And we just put
Oh,
it in because I kind of think of the school test as being sort of like preparation for the state test.
mhm.
Um, okay, so the reasoning is that sales course, can you see the chat?
Yes, yes, I can see the chat.
Okay, very good, because I'm typing information for you here. Uh,
Okay.
plus broker course is 75, which means all brokers must take both courses for a total of 152 hours. I personally think it's a weird question, but I didn't write it.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down as first note.
Well, you know what you can do is you can just copy the chat. You can just save the chat.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to take notes. What I try to do is I take notes for you and I take the notes in the chat and I put sample questions and things.
Okay, I'm gonna open up a document so I can type these things out. I mean, type, copy
No,
and
you don't have
paste.
to. You don't have to. All you have to do is save the chat. Do you know how to save the chat?
Oh, there's a button. Okay, save chat. That's interesting. I never.
Yeah,
Oh,
much
okay.
easier. Yeah.
Wow.
The other thing you can do is if you prefer to have it in like Word format,
Mm.
you can just highlight um, the parts you want to save and copy paste them into a document.
All right. Sounds
All
good.
right. What else have you been thinking about?
Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at the course catalog. So I'm like a bit behind because life had happened on me for the past 2 weeks.
Oh dear.
Huh?
I said, oh dear.
Yeah, but I'm back now. Um, so right now I'm finishing up chapter one.
Mhm.
My biggest fear, I know I haven't gotten there yet, but chapter three, legal issues, because it's 9 hours. And so I'm trying to figure out how am I going to break it down? Because I really I want to finish this course like by the end of August because like I'm in college. I'm going to be a sophomore and I need to focus on college, but I also want to get my license and just like, sell houses part time. So I'm just trying to like catch up and it's just overwhelming. And I have my planner and everything and I keep having a checklist of I want to do this amount in this day, but it's just like it's not working for me. Like so trying to figure out how to branch my time out well.
Well, chapter three is actually broken into four sections, four parts.
Mhm.
And what I did when I designed the course is I wanted the course to be for busy people who are like, who are going like, oh no, I only have 5 minutes to work right now. So the segments are quite short, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes for each segment. So you can just do as many segments as you can fit in on any given day.
Okay.
You can work at your own pace.
My thing is that I'm worried because I'm always looking at the countdown. Like today, when I was just logging into this meeting, it said 77 days. And I'm like, I thought it was 78 days. And I'm just thinking about yesterday was 78, today is 77. It's just like, just seems like it's just going really fast. And
Yeah.
I'm just trying, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. Once you get into the rhythm of it, like I always tell students that the first chapter is kind of difficult because you're not used to the format of the course or the procedure or anything. But once you get into it, you'll find it gets easier and easier.
Okay, so what was my question gonna be? Sorry, I'm thinking. Let me go back to the course catalog. I have a question. Oh yes. Dual licensure, because like in the video you said like you didn't agree with it, but I just wanted to know more why it's not a good idea.
Okay. First of all, it's not on the test.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All
but
right.
I'm happy to answer the question. Dual licensure means that you have more than one license. Now, I have four licenses. I have two in New York State and I have two in other states. So there's nothing wrong with having licenses in other states or something like that. But if you want to have more than one license in New York State, then it becomes kind of a problem. Because think about it this way. Let's pretend that I'm a broker and you come to me and you say, Kristen, I want to work for you, but I also want to work for Happy Realty. Okay. And let's say that we both do residential rentals. Well, every time you do a deal, am I supposed to fight with Happy Realty over which broker gets the commission? Like, I mean,
Mm,
that's just a recipe for conflict and disaster. So the only time that I really advocate dual licensure is that, like, I know some people who are licensed with two firms that don't compete. Like they're
mhm,
licensed with one residential firm and one commercial firm. Or they're licensed with one firm in New York City and one in Long Island.
mhm. That makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Um, right. So when I first started this course, I had my flashcards and like I have like all my notes written down. I had my flashcards as well, but then I also had Quizlet and making flashcards online. And I noticed that like my notes was very time consuming. Like I wasn't writing down word for word in the videos he made. Um I would watch the video twice. The second time I would take notes. But I just want to like make sure this all sticks in my head for the final exam. Like I'm not sure if I'm doing it wrong because I stopped making the flashcards both like physically and online. But the thing is like I don't want to like study everything at the end.
Mhm.
Like when I finish the course, like I want to study consistently. Also like writing it like it takes away from like the other chapters that I'm like gonna go to next. And I feel as if like if I just read it over, like I might forget. So I just don't know. I'm
You know,
embarrassed to say this, like how to rip the content and like make sure it sticks with me.
I get it. Um, I have a book that um they sell it on Amazon. I
Is
think
it
it's
affordable? It's just I'm broke.
$28. I don't know if you consider that affordable or not, but I
That's
will show
okay.
you, I will show you what the book is and
Mhm.
what it is. Oh dear me. I can't, I'm trying to get you the link. Um, I'm trying to get you the link and the stupid
That's fine.
Amazon is sending me like the double code. You know how they do that? The double
They,
verification.
yeah, they do that for Microsoft. It's annoying.
It really is. And what's funny about it is that for me, the only people that these codes keep out of the computer is me.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to keep anybody else out except me. All right, now, um, okay, I'm just getting you. You know what you could do? I think you can buy the book um used, and then it's a lot
From
cheaper.
where?
People sell it on eBay, they sell it on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me find that. I'll find the link for you. Um,
Um, Also, uh, I've been getting a lot of like messages from like brokers and agencies and stuff. And
uh-huh.
then there's this one in particular, like I explained to them like I don't live downstate because I'm in college. I might go back, but like how, am I gonna go fly back to your agency? Like I can't do that.
Oh dear.
And
Where are they
she's
from?
always it's Residential. That's in New
Oh,
York City, in
uh-huh.
Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
And she keeps texting, like she texted me like it was just very authoritative. Like we have a meet and greet that we invited you to and you didn't attend. Here are the dates. Please call me back. And I'm like, wait, why is it like so forceful? Is this required?
It sounds to me like it's a bunch of form letters, huh?
Yeah, I just thought it was weird because I thought like after I'd finished the course, then I would receive um like brokers and agencies reaching out to me. I didn't think it would be now because I have no like I have apprenticeship skills, but like otherwise I can't do anything because I don't have any licensure yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is, but these firms, they really love to recruit new people. So a lot of times they like to get started with recruiting while you're still taking the course. They don't even wait for you to finish the course.
But then you can't do anything. You can't get paid or anything, right?
Um, Correct, but you can do training.
Oh.
Yeah.
But how would you train with these like agencies if they're like in a different region? Like are they doing online stuff?
That's
I'm
a good
very
question. I don't know. Highline might have another branch elsewhere. I'm not sure about that. But some of these some of these groups like Century 21 or Remax, some
Oh,
of
I
them
worked for Century 21.
I'm sorry.
I worked for Century 21 a couple
Oh,
months
okay.
ago.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. So some of them are statewide.
Yeah.
But yeah, where are you living now, Anna?
I'm living in Rockport. It's all the way upstate, like near Canada.
Well, Brockport, you say?
Hmm?
That's
Rochester.
it's kind of between Rochester and Buffalo.
Hmm.
I'm originally from upstate New York, and I went to college in Buffalo. So I know that area very well. I love it up there.
I kind of want to go back down because I feel like real estate up here is just like meh.
Well, it's not as active. Like the markets down here move much faster.
Mhm.
Not as active up there. All right. Well, what subjects would you like us to cover?
Since I'm still on chapter one, I think mm, I don't is how to pronounce this word. I'm sorry, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Is that gonna be on the exam? Because there was like a contract that you had to sign.
A contract that you
Yeah.
have? Oh, I
Mhm.
know what you're talking about. When you join the company, you sign
Yeah.
the independent contractor agreement.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you know why you're required to do that? For tax reasons.
Right.
Yeah. Reciprocity is also not on the test. I'll tell
Oh,
you what it is, but it's not on
okay.
the test.
Okay.
Reciprocity means that your New York license is good in other states. Or if you have a license in a different state, it's good here. Now, New York changed the rule last year and said we do not have reciprocity with any states.
Well,
But there are some states that might have reciprocity with us. So did you have any particular states in mind?
I kind of want to go to grad school in Philadelphia and like do some real estate there.
Okay.
But I'm not sure
Well,
if their licensure works with New York State or have to do it again.
see, we used to have reciprocity with Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
Um, but when New York canceled with everybody, I have a feeling that a lot of the other states canceled with us. You see, so what you have to do is call the actual state and say,
Mhm.
look, I know that New York doesn't accept your licenses, but do you accept New York licenses? And my guess is probably not. Because it's kind of like, if New York says, like, we refuse to play with you, then the other states are going to go, well, we refuse to play with you too, you know? So not as much reciprocity as there used to be.
And this was a part of the flow chart for how DOS issues your salesperson license.
Uh-huh.
Um, it sounds so easy in the video, like how you're saying how you have to find a broker to sponsor you, but like
Yeah.
basically, how do you do that? Do you just walk up to a broker and just be like, "Hey, I'm trying to get my real estate license exam. Can you just like sponsor me?" Like, what is it like? What are the proper steps you need to take?
Well, you could do that. You could do that. But did you know that RELNY has a placement service?
Up here in New York, upstate New York, or is it city?
Um, well, RELNY is for the whole state.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. So all you have to do you know Deb?
Yeah, I email her all the time.
She's great. So
Uh,
ask Deb to refer you to the placement service. And what they will do is they can help you set up job interviews or something.
okay.
But believe me, brokers are dying to hire people. So they would be delighted out of their minds if you called up. Like I don't know what are the popular firms up in Brockport, whether it's Coldwell Banker or
We
whatever.
have like nothing in Brockport. We have um I think Howard Hanna, Remax, really it. We don't have much in Brockport. In Rochester, there's a lot.
Oh, there's boatloads of them in Rochester, yeah. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with just calling up a firm and saying, "Hi, I just got my real estate license and I was wondering if you are looking for agents." And they'll be thrilled out of their minds. They love getting calls like that.
So how does like commission work?
Um, it depends on the firm. That's something that I think I don't discuss it in chapter one. I think I discuss it in chapter two.
Okay.
Um, but I can show you. You know what I can
Like
do?
what's an average, like how much you should like divvy it up that it's both fair? I don't know.
There isn't really. There isn't really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the commission structures work, and then you'll understand. I'm not showing you the salesperson course. I'm showing you a different course, which explains all the different possibilities. Um, I just got back from Europe a couple of days ago,
Ooh,
and
how's Europe?
oh, it was great. I had a wonderful time. And I was actually on the French Riviera. But what's
Mm.
weird about it is I've forgotten everything.
You were talking about the real estate, one of the videos, how people are very angry with the real estate in the UK.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because they don't have any licensing.
Hmm. That would work well for me. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, but the licensing course is educational and you learn stuff.
That's
So,
true. You have to know what you're doing. Mm.
I'm just looking up this part for you.
No worries. I'm just munching on pistachios.
Oh, okay.
This is like really, I just want to say this is really nice because at first I was doing real estate U when when I was ending high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like there was like no interaction and the material just felt so outdated. But it's like nice to have like a Zoom session where you actually speak with like your professor.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I love working with the students in person. That's really great. Um, to be fair with you though, and some of the questions you were asking me are not really on the test. Like you're asking me stuff that you don't really have to worry about.
Okay.
What I think might be a good idea is going through some of the questions that you're going to see on the test and going through some of the harder ones.
Is the quizzes, because I've been like going over the quizzes, are those a part of those are part of the test, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Um, see, we're required by law to
Mhm.
have um, quizzes, lecture tests, and chapter tests. So the way that we designed it is that when it's time for you to take the lecture test or the chapter test, you don't really have any surprises because you've already pretty much seen what the questions are in the quizzes.
Okay.
Now, RELNY has something that I don't think any other school has. And what it is it's called readiness meter. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, it's that little toggle that sits on the right side.
Okay. I love the exam readiness meter because it is it's very accurate. Like it really gives you a picture of how well you're going to do on the test. And we've been in business for a few years now, and it's been very accurate. Like if a student says to me, "Oh, I got an 80 on my exam readiness meter," they usually score about an 82 on the test.
Hmm.
It's been just remarkably accurate. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start giving you some questions. Now, first I'm going to start. Here we go. Uh,
Oh,
I found
never mind. I'll
the
ask
part about
after.
commissions. I'm going to answer your question about commissions. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. So first I'll answer your question about commissions, and then we'll do some questions.
Okay, sure.
Okay, do you see it?
Yes, I see everything.
Okay, now I'm looking at the very bottom where it says sales commissions to independent contractors will be based on the broker's business model. Brokerages pay sales associates anywhere from 20% of gross commission to 100% of gross commission with a flat fee. Your decision as a broker of how to pay your sales agents will be based on the services you offer them, as well as competitive market rates. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Let's pretend that you do a rental and you get a commission for $10,000. Okay.
Mhm.
Some companies will say, well, we're going to take a percent of your commission. So some companies will take half and you get 5,000 and the broker gets 5,000. Some will take 35%. And so you get 65% of the money and they get 35% of the money, like $6,500. So it all depends on the way it's set up. Now, some companies will give you the whole entire $10,000, but they require you to pay them a monthly fee, which is called like a desk fee. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm going to show you, there are a couple of, see, these, when you said to me, like, how do you pay agents? I said, well, I hate to tell you this, but look at all these different business models. You know, there's so many different ways that companies can organize it. So the traditional way is to give you a percent of the commission. And most companies usually start their people out at 50% and then raise them to maybe 60%. But as you can see, there's also flat fees, a flat fee structure where they go, well, every time you do a rental, you get $5,000, no matter how big it is. Okay. And then there's the 100% commission model where they give you the entire $10,000, but you have to pay a fee, like a service fee, to the brokerage every month. And then these people, now Redfin is one you might be interested in because I don't know them, but they're an up and coming firm and they are in upstate New York. I'm sure they have a branch in Rochester. And these guys um actually pay a salary. So see, they don't even pay you a commission. They pay you a salary. So that's one model. And then these guys, the aren't these the oh no, EXP was not the one that was going after you. I bet you EXP has a branch in New York too. They have sort of the graduated commission structure like multi-level marketing, and
Huh?
they actually pay their agents with stock shares.
Oh no, not for me.
Yeah. So they have lots and lots of different business models that brokerages have. So when you go to interview with a brokerage, that's probably going to be like the most important question that you ask them. Most important question you're going to ask them is,
Mhm.
how do people get paid? How do you pay your agents? And you would be surprised, Anna, how many of my students forget to ask that question. Like they'll say to me, oh, I interviewed with three different firms and I don't know which one to take. And I'll say, well, what's the commission structure? And they'll go, oh, I don't know. I forgot to ask.
Oof.
So yeah, it's surprising that people forget to ask that, but you got to ask that. Okay, so I'm going to start out with some questions from chapter one that you already know, and then we will branch out into new stuff that you haven't studied yet.
Okay, I took the chapter. mm, I haven't gotten to lecture two, renewals and continual education. That's where I left off. Otherwise, I've done, yeah.
We're in chapter one, lecture two.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if you still want to like ask me questions, that's fine to practice.
All right. So is that let's see, chapter 1 is about license law, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I forgot everything while I was in Europe. Um, okay. Real estate agents who are directly employed by and representing only the buyer in a transaction are best described as sub-agents, seller's agents, buyer's agents, or universal agents.
Who are directly employed and were the purchaser, the buyer, buyer's agents.
Absolutely right. So we'll do a couple ones like this,
Oh,
and then we'll branch out into maybe some math.
oof, math.
You don't like math?
No.
Most of my students don't like math. That's why I try to do it. Okay, now here's one that is always, always on the test.
All right, I'm gonna write it down. Well,
Oh,
I don't
you've
know.
got in your chat notes.
I keep forgetting save chat. Yeah, that's there. I never used it before.
Yeah, I don't want my students to have to sit here and keep writing and copying stuff. I just give it to you. Okay. Which one of the following individuals would be exempt from the real estate licensing requirement? In other words, who doesn't need a real estate license? Tenant relocator, attorney who does not sponsor salespersons, property manager for several different owners, or a mortgage broker for mortgages other than residential.
Oh my gosh, I had this question. I'm stuck between. Oh wait, never mind. I read the question wrong. Which exempt? Oh, attorney.
Thank you. Thank you. The attorney.
Yeah, because attorney is already a broke. Yeah, I know I was panicking.
You will feel better, believe me, when you get a little bit further into the course. You will feel a lot more comfortable. Okay, I'm going
Mhm.
to give you a math question from the state test.
Okay. I
And
don't have my calculator, so hopefully.
well, don't worry, I have a calculator here.
Oh,
I have my phone. Um, when you go take the state test, I know everything on the state test. You know why? I've taken the state test 5 times.
it's always the same.
Yeah, they
Oh,
don't
okay.
really change it. They don't really change it. Okay, a broker finds a sales comparable that sold a year ago for 155,000, but the market has appreciated 6% in the last year. How does the broker adjust the comparable value? Now, oh, has
I was,
somebody else joined us?
mhm.
Oh, so somebody, hi, Ruth. Somebody else has joined us here. Okay. Do you know what a sales comparable is?
Oh,
Don't worry. Um, if you um if I said to you, how much is your house worth? Okay. Well, probably the easiest way is to see how much did the house next door sell for? How much did the house across the street sell for? And so similar properties nearby are called comparables. Okay. And it's the easiest way to find out the value of a building. Now, the question that they're asking us here is that the broker finds a sales comparable that sold a year ago for 155,000. That's too long ago, right? We want to know what's the price now. So the market has appreciated 6% in the last year. how does the broker adjust the comparable value?
Am
And
I oh, sorry. Mhm.
well, since you haven't done this chapter yet, I think I'm just going to give the answer. Oh, hi,
Wait, no, no, no. Don't give the answer. Sorry. I don't mean to.
no spoilers, no spoilers. Hi, Ruth. That's fantastic. She's taking the test soon. Have
Oh,
you,
yay.
course? Ruth, you finished the course? I assume you did. Okay.
Grats. I'm just now starting.
Yes, Anna is still in chapter 1.
All right. So I'm assuming, well, appreciating, so you're increasing. So do I have to multiply by the 6%?
Absolutely.
I can use my phone.
But
Okay. Uh,
but the mistake that people make is if you multiply by 6%, you won't get the new price. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so basically we have to add 6%, right?
oh, add. Okay.
Yeah, because see what they're saying is if the market went up 6% this year and it was worth 155,000 last year, how much would it be worth this year? So we
Mhm.
have to add 6%. All right. So you could kind of do it the long way. Um, Here, I'll show you. There's a couple of different ways you could do it. You could multiply 155,000 times 6%, which would be I'm just getting my calculator out of my phone.
You're
Uh
fine.
the 155,000 times 0.06. So it's going to be 9,300.
Hmm.
So 155,000 comparable value plus 9,300 increase equals 164, comma 300 adjusted value. There you go. So Ruth, have you ever taken one of these webinars? The reason I ask is that I just want to tell you what the process is and what we do. Oh, okay, so you know. So what we do is we just go through lots and lots of questions, and then at the end you can save the chat. All right, I think we should do some more math because math is what people have the most trouble with.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know the webinars were saved on the website. I had no idea. All right. Pam is selling 4 acres, asking $5.50 per square foot. What is Pam's asking price? Okay. Now, the only way you can solve this is if you know how to convert acres to square feet.
Ooh.
Now, Anna hasn't taken this chapter yet, so I'm going to ask you, Ruth, do you remember the magic number to convert square feet to acres? Okay, then good. I'm glad that we're doing this. The magic number to convert acres to square feet or square feet to acres. You know, I haven't even typed in a month. I used to be a really fast typist and I've become a slow typist already. You must memorize this number.
43, 560.
Yes. Now, the way that most people memorize it is 7-Eleven. Okay, so most people remember it as 7-Eleven. Because 4 plus 3 equals 7, and 5 plus 6 equals 11. Okay, so let's take it from there. So since the selling price is in since the selling price is in square feet, first we have to figure out how many square feet Pam bought, and then we can find out the price per square foot. So here we go. Here's the answer. Since the price is in square feet, we better figure out how many square feet Pam has. So first we convert acres to square feet. So 4 acres times the magic number 43560 equals 174,240 square feet. And 174,000 square feet times $5.50 per square foot equals 958,000. So the answer is 958,320. Okay. Now, Anna, I know this is new to you because you haven't studied it yet, but you will be able to keep this. You'll be able to keep these notes and go
Mhm.
over them again.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I have a question.
Gladly.
I recently got this answer wrong on the quiz, but it's asking where is real estate license law written? And the correct answer was New York State Real Property Law.
Uh-huh.
But I got confused because I thought it was the RESPA, NY RESPA, the Procedure Act. So I got that wrong. But just like the difference, like I need to
I'm
memorize
going to
that.
tell you. RESPA is a federal law
Okay.
having to do with mortgages.
Okay,
Um,
RESPA is mortgage.
Yeah, New York State real property law, Article 12A is license law.
Mhm.
And that's a very good question because they love to ask you that on both school and state tests. Um, Ruth, have you taken the school test yet? Oh, okay, very good. So if you did well on the school test, you'll probably do even better on the state test because we structured it so that the school test is typically harder than the state. And the reason for that is that Department of State requires us to ask certain things that they don't have to ask on the state test. So by definition, the school test is a little more difficult. Okay, I have one for you here. So what I'm going to do, Ruth, is I'm going to try to ask you questions that are kind of challenging. Okay? And that's good for Anna too, because what I always say is it doesn't matter when you learn the stuff. You can learn it at the beginning or you can learn it at the end, but you got to learn it. So I don't mind at all when I have people who finish the course and people who are just starting the course together in the same class, because we all have to learn the same stuff anyway. Okay, Mrs. Davis purchased a property and was granted the right to cross the adjacent driveway to reach a beach. Mrs. Davis has a variance, encroachment, easement in gross, or easement appurtenant. That question is always on the test. Okay. Mrs. Davis has an easement appurtenant. Okay, so let's talk about what that is. All right. So an easement, here the answer is Mrs. Davis has correct an easement appurtenant. Okay, now an easement means somebody else legally can use your real estate. Um, in gross means the government or utility. Appurtenant is private people like Mrs. Davis. Um, a variance is a zoning change. And encroachment is trespass by a thing, like a tree or a car or something. Okay. Um, I'm giving you some of the legal questions now, some of the more challenging legal questions. And chapter 3 is the legal chapter. Okay, so Sam is going to die. Sam dies and wills his real property to his wife until their death, until her death, that is, and then to his son. So if Sam dies and wills his real property to his wife until her death, and then to their son, which type of estate does Sam's son own? Not the wife. What does the son own?
I'm guessing remainder. I'm not
Yep,
sure. Probably wrong. Oh,
right.
okay.
Absolutely right. Okay. The wife owns the property for her lifetime, which is a life estate. The son inherits the remainder after the wife dies. By the way, I'd like to mention something. Anna, you mentioned Quizlet, and I do not recommend Quizlet. And the
Okay.
reason I don't is that the questions that they have in Quizlet are not the same questions that you're going to see on the test.
Hmm.
So sometimes my students go there and they work really, really hard and they learn all this stuff, and then they go and take the test and it isn't the stuff that's on the test. So I
Okay.
think if you want to study like practice tests or something like that, the best thing is the RELNY practice tests or RELNY flashcards. Those are good. Or the book I told you about at the beginning.
Got it.
Because the book I told you about at the beginning, Ruth, you missed this part, but what I did is I went downtown and I took the state test 5 times. And I ran out of the test and wrote down quick, 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 all the questions that were on it. And then I've had 100,000 students, and my 100,000 students write me and tell me what the questions were on the test. So I took all those questions and put them into a book. So those are the questions that you will see on the test.
I'm going to order that book ASAP.
Yeah, I don't sell it. I'll give it to you in a second. Um, I don't sell it. People buy it from the publisher and and sell it on Amazon. You have to be careful though, because what happened to some of my students, it actually happened to me. I went to a I went to a site um that was selling books, and I
Mhm.
said, "Wow, these book prices are so great." And so I ordered all these books and they never came, never came. And I kept calling customer service all the time. Well, I finally went to Better Business Bureau and found out that the online bookstore had a Better Business Bureau rating of F.
Oh,
In other words, they were criminals. So you have to be really careful if you're going to buy books online. You have to be really careful to go to sites that you've heard of, like Amazon or Barnes and Noble or eBay or one like that. And Ruth was
um,
saying earlier that sometimes students sell the book used. Sometimes they sell it used on Amazon or eBay. So it's possible to get that as well. Now, sometimes students complain and they say, but Kristen, you don't put the questions and answers on the same page in the book. And I go, I can't. It would be illegal. I cannot publish the test. So what I can do is I put in all the questions, the real questions that are on the test. And if you don't know the question to, I'm sorry, if you don't know the answer to question 48, you go to topic 48 and it gives you the answer. I just can't put them on the same page, or Department of State would forbid the book because I can't publish the test. But it is the real questions and real answers that are on the test. And to my knowledge, it's the only book that has the real questions and answers. I mean, lots of people say they have the real questions and answers, but they aren't. Okay, which one of the following contract provisions would require completion of a certain act before the contract can be binding? Covenant, concession, contingency, or compensation? Oh yeah, like the answers, um, like as I said, um, like pretend they ask you about Mrs. Davis. Okay, what does Mrs. Davis have? I can't put the answer right underneath. If I put the answer right underneath the question, I would be publishing the test and it would be illegal. Now, if I made up a lot of stupid questions that aren't on the test, then I could do it. But those are useless to you. You want the real questions that are on the test. So if Mrs. Davis is question 48, then you look up topic 48 and it tells you the answer. That's how you have to do it. And the questions are in order, you know, one, two, three, four, five. So yeah, you have to look up the order. You have to look up the answers.
Um, okay, first I thought it was contingency, but then I thought it was concession.
No, very good contingency. Contingency means that if a condition is not met, the buyer can back out of the sale contract and get their deposit back. A typical example is a mortgage contingency, which means, oh, okay. Yeah, I always say, Ruth, I always say that if you can answer all the questions in the back of the book, you will do well on the test. So make it a goal to be able to answer all those questions.
For the book, is it like chapter by chapter, or would you suggest when you
No.
finish the course, get the book?
Well, you can use the book anytime you want, but it is not chapter by chapter. No,
Okay.
because the test isn't chapter by chapter.
Mm.
And see, the trouble is if I do it chapter by chapter, everybody does really great on chapters 1, 2, and 3. And by the time they get to 16, 18, and 19, they don't get a chance to finish. So I
Mm,
don't do it
mhm.
that way. I mix everything up randomly so that everybody knows everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, do you have like a email with RELNY, or is Deb like the only
I'd
person?
be
Okay.
happy to give you my email. Okay, but if you email, you'll probably get like an out of office message because I just got back from Europe and I'm still a little jet lagged and I'm still catching up on my emails. So,
That's fine.
yeah. So it'll say Kristen is not in the country, but I obviously am.
This is very helpful.
Oh, I hope so. The idea is I try to just fire as many questions at you as possible. Where did I go? Oh, I'm sorry, Ruth. I thought you heard that part. I just got back from the French Riviera. The right to deviate due to a special hardship from the use of land prescribed by an existing zoning ordinance can be accomplished by applying for which of the following? Huh? Yeah, yeah. Actually, I did. I missed my job and I missed my dog and everything. Um, okay, what does that question even mean? The right to deviate due to a special hardship from the use of land prescribed by an existing what
Like
it
all I see is zoning.
yeah. Okay, well, basically here's the idea. Um, the question is asking, um, What is it called when a person gets an exception to zoning law because the law is causing um by causing them financial hardship?
Non-conforming use permit?
Um, Try again. No such thing.
Oh, okay. Variance? No, I'm
Oh,
wrong.
are you leaving us?
Pardon?
I think Ruth said she's leaving us.
Oh,
Um, Answer is variance. Okay, well, let me ask you something. Anna, are you going to come back and do another one of these webinars?
oh yeah, I'm coming to everyone.
Oh, very good, very good. Okay, because like we have a rule at the school that if we only have 3 people in the class, we cancel the class. But I wasn't going to do that to you. So even though there's only 2 of you, I did the class anyway.
Oh,
And
thank
now,
you.
yeah, oh, of course, that's the right thing to do. So now Ruth is saying that she has to leave, and we've already gone over 1 hour.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
Ruth, will you please contact me and let me know how your test goes? Oh, good, good. Okay, I gave you my email address. All right. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to finish up, but we'll have bigger classes next time. Usually we get like about 5 or 8 people. Um, but tonight this is the smallest class I ever had. It's never happened before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Zoom on so that both of you can save the chat.
Okay.
And Ruth, you didn't really miss very much because at the beginning we were talking about some things that are not on the test. Okay, so by the time you came in, Ruth, you didn't really miss very much. Okay, so thank you very much for being with me. I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm leaving Zoom on so that you can save the chat.
So
Um,
when you save the chat, is it like copy and pastable or
yeah, yeah, you can save it 2 different ways. Okay, you can at the top of the chat are 3 little dots. And if you click on the 3 dots, one of the options is save the chat. So that's one way
Mhm.
to do it. The other way to do it, if you just want to be doubly sure, is you can highlight the entire chat and
Mhm.
do a copy paste into a document.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Okay, good night. I'll see both of you soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Let's see, I copied it. All right, copy chat. Okay, bye everyone.